Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you are doing great. So I want to continue with our theme of just recreating artworks from great artworks from other creators. And today I found this image here that I think looks really interesting. And yeah, we're going to try and recreate this. So yesterday we created this, and I added some bit of animation. My live stream cut off. My internet, I think, just went nuts yesterday, so we didn't complete the live stream. But we had almost done. How are you? How's your quarantine going? It's it could be worse, but yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. How are you, Devron? Yeah, so this is the animation I managed to create after the live stream. Okay, I don't think it's going to show nicely. Let me just play back the rendered version. Okay, this is also too slow for. Hey, let me just play. Let me just play this from VLC so that you can see what we created last time, yesterday. So this is what we created yesterday in the live stream. Yeah, and we used. Okay, having a lot of things going on here. Yeah, so this is it here. I added a chopper there with some bit of animation. Thank you. And we use this reference image to create this. And today we are going to use this here and see what we can manage to do with this. So without any further ado, let's just get into it and see how this goes. Just put back some music here. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do here. Again, let me just start with fixing my aspect ratio to match my reference image. And I'm going to start by blocking out the scene. Just turn on a few things here that I usually use. And I'm just going to select this. I want it to curve like what you see in this. Now maybe instead of doing that, you can just make this a bit more curved. I could just use a curve object for this here, but I don't know. Yeah, so you're going to start off by blocking the entire scene, blocking out the entire scene. So let's see, and let's start adding a few blocks in here. We're going to use a lot of texturing to get the details out. I don't think we need this to be this long, so I can just have it something like that. And as we are blocking out, I think we can also start on working on the texturing so that we know where I should add more details and where we should know. Hello, my home videos. How are you doing? Let's find some images here. You know what, I think the best way to approach this project by just extruding this side so that we know the shape of our street like that, and we can start adding in small details one by one like that. Now let's work on this. I don't know how to call this here, and I think they're called shingles, so let's do those and see how they're supposed to be shaped. I don't want to be too detailed with this because we're going to have a lot of geometry in our scene, so the more geometry you add for any object, the more computation power you're going to need. I think that's not bad. That's not too bad. Let's see. Then we can add a solidify modifier. We don't need to add we only need the rim here. Then we can apply the solidify modifier. Just come in and start merging some of these parts here. So Alt M. Okay, this should be I think they changed the shortcuts here, so Alt M doesn't give you this menu anymore. You just have to press M to get that. And we have that. Let's call this town. can rotate this just a bit and have it at an angle like that. Then we can duplicate this, and I think before we do that we can even add a loop in here, just bend it just a bit, have that curve in the shingle. Hello, Setu Creations, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Now we can have this like that. So it's kind of intersecting around here. Oh, sorry about that. Hello, Paulo. Alexa, I'm not sure what mutes my sound. It's I think now it's fixed. Maybe I have a shortcut that I'm pressing that just disables the audio. Just mutes the audio. I think I need to go to my OBS settings and see if change my camera angle here. Focal something wider. Bring this back. Start positioning. I think this street needs to be a bit wider. Sound is fine, but now I have lag. Things look okay on my side. I don't know, maybe the internet slowed down a bit, but it looks okay now. Funky, yes, I'm not sure. Just slapped on any music I found on YouTube. So I think what we can do, let's just move these around different areas. So you can see we have another one up here. I'm just going to duplicate this. And, duplicate this as well. interior also. Here, for this scene, that would be impossible to do. And my computer wouldn't be able to do that. I think we need to add these holes here. So I think this create a cube. So it's about just working on the small details like this, and then start adding them. Just get something that looks as you expect it to look. So duplicate this, have something like that. Then use Alt D to duplicate this again. Alt D for that one there. Alt D, move this down like that. Now we can start pulling some of these faces and adding in some interesting shapes here for the different buildings. So I think what we can do is separate the ground just a bit and start adding in different levels. So I think if I select these, I can pull them out like that. So that we have this wall separate from the other walls. I think we can also have something like this. Maybe this is one large balcony. Now we can select these, push them in just a bit. The rendering in this scenario is very cool. Yeah, this render is really nice. Looks very nice. I guess we can also start working on the lighting so that we can look at how our scene is going to end up looking. Let's add some ambient occlusion. And start working with materials. This is supposed to be really tall. Like that. sun. Go to the world settings and let's add some volumetric shader volume. Anyway, don't forget to like the stream. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Yeah, I think I have some shortcuts that are muting my mic. Let me just try and remove them. Yeah, I think I accidentally increased my volume. It wasn't that high. Okay, so let's start adding in some textures. So I'm just going to first isolate this and I look at what kind of textures we can work with. Add in image texture. Just find some concrete texture. I'm going to use object mapping here so that is easy, so that I don't have to UV unwrap every object in my scene. This can be the base color and the roughness. And now we can make it a bit darker color, mix RGB, give it an overlay, blending mode, and change the color here just a bit. I want to give it that greenish color. You can see that it's repeating too much in different areas. So what I can do is just duplicate this entire batch of nodes. Hello Techno. Let me see. And find another texture to blend it with that texture. I think this here looks nice with those kind of walls, so I can let me try overlaying it on top of this and see. Let's try multiply. Yeah, I think this has richer details, so we can just get the blend of the two and use that for the roughness as well. And now we can just layer more textures on top of this if you want to. And for this ground, we are going to use the same material here, but just make a few changes. I want it to be a bit more reflective. I think I also have some concrete, so some asphalt material that I could use. So maybe let's just find that. I think we can use this for this ground here. So I'll just unwrap that area. Go to UV, unwrap. I just need to straighten these UVs. I can even just use the first. Can just use full active codes to have more straightened UVs. And we want to use the UV map. So we need this to be flat, to be changed to flat, and you can see now the road is it's much better. Hello, Juan. Great project, thank you. Let's scale this on the x-axis. I want to straighten these on the x-axis. So let me do that. Then straighten these on the y-axis. So we have this on maybe this here. We can just have them anywhere. Now we can use these over these materials here. So color, mix RGB, have this as the main color, and then this can be overlaid on top of that, so that we can break up the material just a bit. Can even try multiply, then fill this in the base color, then the roughness. So your voice is too low. I don't know, I feel like it's okay. Maybe try increasing your own volume. Hey brother, how are you? Kuma, how are you doing? How are you doing? I'm doing great. Vector bump map. So we're going to also use this as a height map. So let's first see. We want this to be as reflective as everything else. So I'm just going to add a convert math node here, so that I can make this a bit more reflective. And if you want to add more reflections, you can add a light probe reflection plane onto the surface if you are using Eevee to render. So this can help you capture more surface reflections, but you need to make sure that you have screen space reflections turned on. So just play with the distance here. And we need to have an environment or background image to reflect. You can see the reflections we are capturing there. So let's try to get an HDRI image that we can use. Should be an outside, something like that. But I don't want the strength to be that much. We can start adding in a few lights in our scenes so that we can see the details in different areas. So I'm just going to add a point light around here. just give it that slight orange. Just move it maybe around there so that we can start seeing some of the details we have in our scene. Duplicate this, have that around there. Also want to have contact shadows for these lights, and for this I'm going to make it maybe a blue like that. Now we can also have this repeated here. Now I'm going to work on this kind of that looks like an inlet or a door. So let me zoom into that a bit. It's like a window, I think. So I'm just going to add a plane. Scale this on the x-axis like that. Can add in a few edge loops in different areas. Something like that. You are the best artist in Blender. Thank you for that. You can add banner, make everything realistic. Yeah, of course we'll add them, but we need to get the details first. So let me add a loop there. We can delete those inside faces like that, and then you can see now we have something like that. Now what we can do with this, can just bevel this edge, push that in to make these doors look separate. And I think we can now use a solidify modifier. Actually, we shouldn't use a solidify modifier because there are a few details we want to capture here that the solidify modifier will not enable us to do. It's going to remove this edge on this side as we don't need it. It will just add polygons on that on the mesh, unnecessary polygons. Like that. Now we need to add in the glass areas. So I'm just going to add a plane like this. Make sure it scales up, scale it to fit the inside. Now let's work on the textures. So this is wood, so I'm just going to create a wood material. So just find an image texture. So just go to my textures and find some wood. So textures. Okay, mount that. I think I'm just going to use that. Yeah, also just smart projection UV unwrap this. Or let me just use object mapping like that. I'm still waiting for a lesson sword trail. I'm not sure what kind of lesson you want there. So this is going to be our wood. We just need to apply it here. Make sure it uses also the roughness. Just need to add a math node to control the roughness a bit. There may be add a color mix RGB. to control the overall color. Just make it a bit dark like that. Okay, so this is going to be our door. Maybe we could use a different texture that doesn't repeat too much. That a texture that is a bit tileable. That is more tileable. Maybe something like this. Yeah, just need to rotate this maybe 90 degrees. And see. And then we can add a new material. You can select the window and add a new texture on them and place a box with the room image. Maybe it will look better. So we're going to create a new material here for the glass. Let's call this glass. Assign it to the glass there. And we want this to be translucent, so we're going to use the translucent shader. So translucent. Also going to give it a brownish color like this. Now if we add lights in the back, you can see how that looks. Let's try adding an area light. And this material doesn't have to have any shadows. Yes, and you can make it transparent. Yeah, I can make it transparent, but I don't want to model anything on the inside. So yeah, I don't want to have it showing anything on the inside. And I can parent this to this, so that whenever I move this, that can also be moved. So now we can get this door we have just created. Let me first select my camera and cut off some areas here. Then get our door and start placing it. No, I mean you don't need a model. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't think it's going to work as great here than if we added the details in. I need to duplicate the door with the light as well, so I'll bring this here. Then we can just shape this area here to fit our door. Add a loop around there, add a loop there and there, and just push this in like that. Anyways, look, yours look better. Yeah, I know the concept you're talking about of just finding anime text, and I think I'll be using it in different areas to add in extra details. I'll be using it, but I want to see how this looks without doing it that way. So let's start adding in some banners here, and maybe we can also improve our lighting here. So let me just grab this. We can have this as an area light. Let's try this as a point light. And I think we need to improve now our volumetric here. So let's go to the world settings, and also under volumetric, let's turn on volumetric shadows, and I play with this start and end distance, so that we don't see a lot of volumetric at the beginning here. That. So we can find building textures and use them for extra details. Texture, image texture. And yeah, something like this. I think this is what you meant here. Just finding something like this and adding the details directly like that. So we can add a loop maybe around here. Now since this is repeating, we can just work on one area, on one floor like this. Give it as much detail as we're able to.